Testing, testing, 1, 2, 1, 2. All right. Let's see. It's like we're going to open AI. Didn't bring up my download. Yep, that's what I thought it was gonna do. Which is stupid. And there we go. Come on, computer, you got this. Okay, that is taking a while though. Let's see what's going on. Okay, save that. All right, now we're ready. Okay, let's see what we got. Interesting. All right, so today we got a couple of movers up. Okay, there we go. All right, today we got a couple movers up. GLTO up 445% with no catalyst. And then behind it, we have CISS. Now, I'm only looking for low floats right now. So that's what's actually on the menu. We have SPRB that made a insane move yesterday. I mean, it was, we watched it in pre-market. I was like, oh, okay, you know, this thing could do something. It was around 12 something dollars, ended up jumping up to $35 and then going all the way up to $358 from 12. So made an insane move yesterday and only up 38%. I did not take any trades yesterday. So yesterday was a no trade day. I just looked at it and I was like, yeah, I'm just going to get to work. There was a lot of work pouring in on Monday anyway. A lot of times when things go like that on Mondays, I end up losing because I'm constantly getting calls and stuff like that. So it's like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. So GLTO up 600%. Another one of these crazy little movers. Came in here for a dip around 20, popping up another couple of bucks. Has 24 million shares traded. Let's go look at the daily chart, which I'm guessing is completely torn up with it gapping up this much. And yesterday it closed up with the ATR of 43 cents, and today it's probably gonna be like $3, $4. Let's see. So we had some levels in here. I believe we had seen it before, like last week at some point, and it absolutely crushed all of these levels we had out here. Let me make sure y'all are looking at the right screen. Yes. Okay. So it crushed all these levels. The daily peak at 7, 10, 11. And now it's sitting all the way up here at 30 bucks in the middle of this gap here. So right. Let me go ahead and mark this gap up. I'll move these gaps actually. So we will activate and move this as a daily gap all the way up here. That's 55 bucks. That's a long way. Then we'll activate this one. Gap right here. And then at this point, there is no obvious, stops in here. And then let's go ahead and activate, and coming back into this level, this little bottom level here will be back under like 23. Okay, back over here. So it is moving on up. So this was the bottom of that gap that we just saw. And the top of the gap is all the way up here around the 54. And hitting the top of or the bottom of this gap and kind of coming back and testing it at the 26. Has 26 million shares traded on it. Point of control is still all the way down here, $10. So, the majority of people, the majority of trades has happened at 10 and it hasn't moved up since then. So the majority got in around 4 o'clock this morning back here, because that's where it looks like a lot of consolidation around this level 4. All of the early morning they were getting in, and now it's making this move. So anybody playing around up here, they could be playing with fire. But we said the same thing yesterday, but the only difference between GLTO and SPRB is SPRB actually had a catalyst that I didn't even think it was going to go that far with the catalyst that they had, but they got some kind of news from the FDA and bam, all the way to heaven, touched the throne of God. It literally went from 12 to $300. Like, it wasn't even parabolic. It was just evaporation, just straight up. Let's see. So let's go look at the front page news and see what we can see. So it says it's big tech rivals can invest heavily and stay profitable. No amount of deal making can do that. AI critics are thinking too small, says AMD chief. So we saw AMD make big moves on yesterday, huge moves actually, and a lot of money made over there. I was also watching AMD yesterday, and it was sucking up some volume as well. But today it's a little bit weaker news than what metals shares skyrocket as U.S. takes 10% stake. Doubts emerge as OpenAI's computing deals top 1 trillion. Gold stumbles as dollar gains amid U.S. shutdown. Tesla expected to unveil lower cost Model Y and push to reignite sales. OpenAI sent these stocks soaring with mere mentions. Nova Nordics cuts jobs on production line at key U.S. plants. AppLovin probed by SEC over its data collection practices. IKEA buys logistics tech firm Locus. U.S. tariffs on medical devices would harm Americans' health, and Costa Rica warns. Energy companies to spend $50 billion on new U.S. pipelines as they tap into gas boom. Kentucky governor grapples with tariff, says 2028 call can wait. Yen carry trade back rate. I don't even know. Okay, so a little bit of weaker news on OpenAI catalyst. We see a little bit on energy. Let's see. A little bit on metals. US takes 10% stake. So we'll see. But nothing really sticking out there. Still waiting on a catalyst though on these low floats. Waiting. All right, BJDX up 28% with 15 million. Spruce. Yeah, that thing isn't even getting traded anymore. ZNB making a move up. It has catalysts on today. So this is Zeta Network. This is crypto catalyst here. So it does have catalyst making its way up with 3 million shares traded. Let's go look at the daily chart real quick before it gets crazy. So Zeta was at 166 down here. Has a bottom of the gap, so we'll go ahead and mark this up. And let's go ahead and edit. And we'll call this our daily gap, or I guess it's the lower gap, low daily gap level. Okay, yeah, that fits. Low daily gap level. And then we will duplicate. We got a high level up here, 1394. So it is also in a pretty much, you know, we don't know what it can do past 447. Right now it is at 240. All right, so 240. We got a couple little peaks out here. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so we got a couple peaks out here, daily peaks at 306. Edit, peak daily. Peak daily level. And we got another one out here at 342. It's kind of close. Duplicate. And then we'll read a little bit more about this catalyst real quick. Got a couple peaks there. All right, so let's go look at this. So first of all, it's the first one that we've seen with catalysts on the day, and it has taken the number 2 spot of 50%. So let's go see ZNB. Zeta Network Group. All right, so Zeta Network Group, an entertainment and education company, provides online entertainment, performances, and music education services. The company operates Color World, an online platform of curriculum that includes music, sports, animation, painting, calligraphy, film and television, life skills, etc. Its Color World platform provides celebrity lectures, celebrity concert videos, celebrity peripheral products, artists, interactive communication services. It offers construction management, consulting services. The company was formerly known as Color Star Technology Company Limited, and changed its name to Zeta Network Group in August 2025. Zeta Network Group was founded in 2022 or 2002, and is based in New York, New York. Zeta Network Group operates as a subsidiary of U-Life Media and Production International Limited. Okay, so that they kind of are breaking into crypto with that name Zeta. I don't know how strong that's going to be, but definitely has some competition on the board still with GLTO and CISS, which are outperforming it without catalyst. So we got to take note of that. Let's jump back over here. Okay, so ZNB. Oh, did I look at where that's from? That is out of New York, New York. Okay, New York, New York for Zeta. Has catalyst, but is being outperformed by things that do not have catalysts. GLO sitting on the bottom. I need to rename this so I know what this is. This is the bottom gap. So low gap, low daily gap level. And then this one up here is the high daily gap level. It's gonna confuse me later on in the day when I look at this. I'm like, what is this? All right, so that's in there. Let's go ahead and get that back in there. Okay, so looking a little weak at this low daily level has come back and kind of, you know, at first it was just like a chef's kiss, and now it's kind of hugging it. ZNB came up here and touched this. So this was one of the peaks that we had marked up for it at the 307. It has another one at the 342, and then the gap all the way up here at 450. So this one, now my criteria, I'm looking for something that is above $5, that has the range that I'm looking for can make at least 30 cents easily. And then I'm looking for catalyst, and this one with catalyst is it just now reached 10 million shares traded. It's coming on up and challenging these recent highs. So I'm gonna definitely keep an eye on it. I'm gonna put it over here on my watch. CME as a catalyst stock, and we'll see if it ends up exploding. If it does, the only thing is it may be extended by the time it gets to $5. It may be super extended. GLTO, a little bit of pop, so we're starting to see a little bit of structure here. So we have one out here to 30.75, and let's see if we can get structure. Is it going to double top? What is it going to do here? What's the move? It's going to stop here, go higher, going higher. Looks like it's going to break high. Going to break the 30.75 there. It is. All right, that invalidates that. So new high, got to wait for more structure. Needs to hold this level of the 2601 with no catalyst. Up 726%. ZNB, slow mover. So yeah, just being patient. We still green on the month, green on everything else. Just taking our time. Taking a deep breath. Oh, Donnell's back from vacation. I did not see that. Donnell's back to, you know, yesterday was crazy. We saw it. We talked about it in Discord. It was one of those things where, you know, it's those types of trades. It's like they're too unpredictable. There's no structure, and it's just breaking higher. And a lot of times, what I'm trading is like in a range. I'm not even looking for it to break out of the range, right? And it usually covers the 30 cents within its range. Take my profit, and bam, I'm out of there. But these that have been moving, there's been no ranges. It's just been punishing both sides. But now we're seeing GLTO come back to this area that it was hugging at first. It made a new high, and we're looking for structure to start to form. ZNB also throwing a couple of wicks up here. It may start to form some structure and try to get past this 307. I don't know, but keep an eye on that one. It's up 75%. The other one, CISS, isn't looking too high. That one isn't looking as bullish as the top two. And then SB or SPRB isn't really doing much either. So keeping our eyes on the top two for now. GLTO and ZN. Wow, we just looked away. Okay, it almost broke this level. So this was one of the peak levels up here. It's got room to the next peak level of the 342, but we'll see. That looks like a little bit of a double. Oh, nope. All right, getting on up there. All right, so right up to that next peak level that we marked on the chart, on the daily chart. Little bit of a peek through there, and so we'll see what kind of structure forms from that. All right, GLTO that you continue to push up. Nope. All right, coming on back down. ZNB definitely getting some push though. Okay, so I think we're looking in the right spots for sure. Okay, GLTO coming back and again, right at this, the tip of this 3038, finding a little bit more resistance. So we need to see if this is going to be the new structure. Nope, pushing on up. Almost another double top up there to the top of 3145. May push a little higher. Yep. So again, invalidating any kind of structure there. Yep. 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 Huge range on that one. Got a level right back down here where the chef's kiss was that it can come back down to. That's that low daily, and it has no catalyst. So getting going down like this, you can see how dangerous it can be. ZMB again, a little touchy touch around the $3, but we haven't seen any true structure. It's a little bit too steep to say that that's structure. GLTO. All right, so let's see what's the next move because it's almost engulfed this whole candle back down towards 2868. Let's see what you got, big boy. Got a lot of work to do because you just fell $5. So that was a $5 fall just right there. That was also a $5 win, but if you didn't take profit, you were maybe on the fence right there. ZNB going up and again testing this peak level, but no true structure formed yet. So waiting on that. CISS starting to do something, but ZNB is about to pass it in volume with three. If it gets 3 million more shares, it'll be passing it in volume. Yep. ZNB. So the low gap was right here at 450. And it is now crossing that top peak level, but still has no structure, has not done any dips, just straight up. And this is a 1 minute chart, by the way. So I'm looking at the 5 and the 15 on other charts just to see, you know, and the 5 and 15 are looking, well, the 5 is looking red. 15 is still pretty green, but yeah, we'll see where that goes. Let's go back over to GT. Oh, yeah, boy. Looking real drastic around here. Only a $3 fall down here to 27. But still a little bit too steep. ZNB right back down through that level. Has a bottom right around $3. But I think it's just got a little bit too much competition with GLTO right now. Popping back up there, retesting. And right under 350 is holding it at that peak daily level. This is why I use daily levels because they work. You know, that people see them and they're obvious. I'm looking for a super obvious daily level that can become some type of either support, heavy support, or resistance. The point of control is still down here around 293. So people are not buying up here like they were down here 290s. So we'll see what kind of movement it wants to do down. Back up to GLTO though. We're seeing a little bit of what could be a a structural level, but it hasn't closed yet, so I don't know. Bottom of this is 30.29. So let's see a crash out of 30.29. Little P. Okay, so this one is going to be more of the structure. All right, so a breakdown of this candle is 31.30. 31.30. Coming right back up to the body. Let's see if it finds true resistance here. Let's go ahead and mark this. Now that is not, that's good. We're good with that. Let's see if it follows this on down. That's a little bit of structure. We got levels down here at the 27 and at the 23. Back up here to ZNB. Again, on the bottom side of this peak level. Threw a little wick down to 322. Now the point of control moves up to 328. And moved up again there, but still trading below previous levels. So they're getting a lot of trading under the previous levels. The bottom side of this candle is 322. So a 322 breakdown will not be looking pretty on that one. GLTO right on that level, looking for it to go ahead and break down 31.16 to continue this move down. Or it could blow through this and invalidate this level. So we're waiting. We are waiting. Right, opening up right there. So we got a little bit of guided action down here. We'll see how it does. Let me go back up to ZNB so we can see that that peak level ended up holding it down quite a bit. Going back down and trying to test this $3. Let's play ball. Let's see if anything else popped up with the catalyst though. E-Lab, no. E-Lab may be one to watch later on in the day, but we'll see. I don't see any catalyst on it though. It's got a lot of work to do when it comes to volume. ZNB coming back down to that $3 level. All right, GLTO, slight break of this level. Thought this was the downtrend, was not, came back up and started to test the body of this candle again at the 33.65, which is all okay. Let's go ahead and remove. And if it, I mean, it's got a while to go down now under 30.16. So invalidated. Are you going to get going down off of this? Whoops, wrong way. First one's just too steep. I'm not sure. I'm gonna just wait until it shows what it wants to do, because at this point it's getting a little bit more indecisive. At first the moves were kind of clean, but now it's like, ooh. Bottom of this previous candle is 32.64. Little breakdown of that level. A lot of back and forth. ZNB ended up crashing out the peaks. Both of those peaks. The point of control is all the way up here at 329. So we'll see what happens on that. Continue to make its way down, even with Catalyst. Had 20 million shares traded. Okay, GLTO, like I said, is unpredictable. Could go either way here. Multiple times, kind of up here at the top of his body. Hmm. Okay, another little push out there. So 34.66. Bottom of this candle is 34.12. Looks like it's gonna do another break. Or it already did, 35.60. So a little bit higher high there. So it's kind of hard trader. Up 800% with 31 million shares traded. In the middle of no man's land in this gap fill. All right, back over here to ZNB. 297. Let's see, is this a little bit of structure? I don't know. From the top here, still a little steep though. That's kind of steep. I don't know. Trying to get back over the threes. GLTO starting to wick out now. A lot of wicks coming in. Still no structure though. Yeah, SPRB was tripping. It was on another level, but it did have catalyst and it was super low float, but yeah, going from where we saw it during pre-market at like $10 up to $300, that's just not something that you predict. And even if you were to take a trade every single day, you would need to take only one share, and maybe just maybe you catch one of those. But since we out here trying to make a little bit more money on the day, we don't want to be just betting on that. Because that catalyst that it had, it received some good news from FDA, and we've seen that before, and it didn't do a move like that. So it's like, no, it looked good for somebody that's like not looking at the market every day, but in real life though, Mike in the Discord, he was like, yeah, I took two shares down there at $40. So for two shares, $40, it moved up to two. I know he sold it before the end of yesterday, but because it started halting down and really looking nasty, and then it went right back up. So it just played with a lot of people's hearts. So I was like, yeah, ZNB, I'm back up here above the threes for now. It's the only one with catalyst, but still being outperformed by GLTO. You can see GLTO dump. So again, that's going to throw a ringer in my little, what I thought was a downtrend. And we'll see how it ends up holding this $3. The range is a little bit smaller now, so about 25 cents from the $3. But still being outperformed. Point of control continue to stay around this level, right under this peak level. Phineas, he said, I took 100 shares till 100 blood. I already know. That's what I was thinking. I was looking at it. I was like, you know what? Maybe this wouldn't be good for my health, you know, because you just never know, man. Yes, it's like a relief, but the constriction on your little blood vessels and capillaries, that's the issue. GLTO coming on down. Coming on down. It's the only one that's above $5, but it doesn't have a catalyst and it's already super extended. So ZMB, I don't even know if it's gonna make $4, to be honest. Especially after the amount of energy that was expounded yesterday. To expect one of those to happen again, it's like, all right. I don't know what's going on over here at ELAB. I didn't see a catalyst. It's kind of low volume, but it is a low float of 23%. So maybe it'll be something to play in during the intraday, but it's too much competition. Let me show y'all my scanner right quick. Let's go over here to this one, and then scanner. Is it this one? Yeah. So this is what my scanner look like right now. Leading the day, GLTO 802%. Under that, ZNB not meeting criteria at $3. CISS $3.23. Then under that, SPRB 41% hadn't even reached 1 million shares. Then BJDX, ELAB, which I might see what it wants to do later on in the day after all of these runners fail. But the problem is with a market this hot and emotionally manipulative, I don't know what the pre-market or what the intraday is going to look like after this falls. Like, is this a short win day after a huge short loss day? Is this a correction incoming? Is my question. Let's jump back over to this and bring that down and jump back over. Is a correction coming for the short? Oh my goodness, ZNB. Well, it might get up here to 5. So this is the low daily level here, but it's going to be super extended by the time it gets up there. It's got a whole dollar to move. ZNB right there moving up 148%. So I guess we are looking in the right place. I just like it to be a little bit higher price to get the moves that I'm looking for. This will move though from 324, so that's a dollar move right there, going right back into that low daily level. So on the daily chart what we have marked, so the high daily level is all the way up here at 13. So this whole thing is a gap. There's nothing here except empty space. And then it's reaching and showing resistance at the low daily level, just trying to enter the gap. So very interesting. Still no real structure, but forming a high, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens here. And then GLTO, that you come down a little bit. Looks like it came back. Ooh, back down to that low gap level. All the way back down to the low gap level, getting pushed down through the floor. No catalyst. ZNB is taking control here, heading towards $5. So getting into that gap level up there, getting in there, and we'll see if 5 becomes some type of true resistance. You know, do the shorts want to make their money back? Because most prop firms, they like to short, you know, things coming up to the $5. So I'm expecting to see quite a bit of resistance up here as well. Let's see. So hitting right at the 5 flat. and then has this level right here that has not tested at the 450s. GLTO kind of popping back, but after this fall, I don't trust it. I don't trust it. We'll see what happens. Oh, ZMB right back to the 450 there. So went up to the 5, got on back down to the 450 quite quickly. The point of control is still all the way down here at 332. So not enough trading going on up here yet, and has room to move all the way back down if it wants to, away from the 5. So keeping my money nice and safe today. Again, GLTO, big pop off of that 27 low gap level. That was a $4 pop back up. These are some crazy moves off these levels for real. That's a $6 move up. ZNB is about to pass GLTO in volume. It is coming up to 30 million shares traded on ZNB. And then GLTO has 33 million and walking down the chart at this point. It's a little bit too steep to put a downtrend on it yet. I don't know where the downtrend is, but definitely something is going on at this 27 flat level. Back up to ZNB. Back into the gap. Almost to the 5. Let's see if those shorts want to get on here. Keep it under 5. Double top. Needs to break that. That's a double top at 505. Ooh, that don't smell good. Right back to the 475s. 2 million shares to go, and it will be passing old GLTO up. It'll be the leading in volume. Yep. 522, a small little breakout, up to 545. Up 220%, about to be the leader in volume on the day. Still, yeah, it got to bounce out of this 450, but you know, that 5 is something serious. Let's jump back up to GLTO, making its way back to the 27. Not being able to hold that 5. Room back down to the 336s. We can't get some volume. And it's above all of the points of controls right now. Point of control on the 5 minute is the 355. Actually, let me mark that up. I'm tripping. I gotta do my drawings. So 350, 336, all the way to 257 is where it has the previous points of control. 257 here. It's got room all the way back down here between. So this is based on the 1 minute, 5 minute, and 15-minute points of controls. So it's from 336 all the way down here to 257. Let me go to the GLTO. Where's your point of control? Oh boy, it's all the way down here, $10. Okay, so 1039 down to 994. So 1039. 1030. I can't even get it. 1030 something up in here, all the way down to 994. This is where the point of control is. 990. Oh, that's kind of thin. Might as well just say $10. Yeah, let's just say $10, man. That's super thin. All right. But that point of control has not moved. Nobody's actually, it's no heavy trading up here. So you can look back here on the blue. You see all of this volume down here and then little spurts of volume up here. Maybe people taking profit. That would be my guess, especially on something that doesn't have catalyst. ZNB, let's jump back over there real quick. the scanner, so basically all I have for the scanner for pre-market is super simple. Here it is. For pre-market, let's see, pre-market low flows, super simple. Look, super simple. Looking for stocks with shares of at least one. That keeps those the ones that are new on the market that have only like that have a zero or something. I don't even want to see those. I want to see something that's been trading in the market and that's popping up. It's got some history. So you know, one and then 10 million. That's all I got. That's it. That's all I'm looking for during pre-market. Low floats. If the low floats fail or they don't have catalyst or anything, cool. I can just sit it out. And then market cap. I mean, you could do market cap. I just say over a million in the market cap. Just one M, because anything lower than that is kind of really doesn't make sense. And look how many matches I have. 6,730 matches just off of this. So that's enough. You know, most of the things are gonna have over a million anyway. I don't really see anything having a 500,000 in the market cap. That doesn't even sound worth it. But anyway, let's jump back up to where am I going? Oh, and the percent change is zero. So that the default in TOS is zero during pre-market because it doesn't actually calculate gains. So you can just set it to zero and things will show up. If you try to set it above zero, it's going to not show anything. All right, ZMB up there to 618. Up there to 618. GLTO all the way down to 26, and now ZMB is leading in volume. So this one has a big kind of a big what am I saying? Where's the top here? Okay, the top of the gap is all the way up here to 13. I don't know if it's gonna go to 13. If it goes to 13, that's gonna be crazy. We did read what this company is. So Zeta Network Group is an entertainment company and education company. It provides online entertainment performances and music education services. The company operates Color World, an online platform of curriculum that includes music, sports, animation, painting, and calligraphy, film and television, life skills, etc. Its Color World platform provides celebrity lectures, celebrity concert videos, celebrity peripheral products, and artist interactive communication services. It offers construction management consulting services. The company was formerly known as Color Star Technology Company Limited and changed its name to Zeta Network Group in August 2025. Zeta Network Group was founded in 2002 and is based in New York, New York. Zeta Network Group operates as a subsidiary of ULife Media and Production International Limited. Okay. The float on this one for ZNB was, let's go look at this float. Oh boy, this thing's leaving the screen. Okay, 727. Float is under a million shares. Under a million shares, up to 833, very extended. So yeah, this is crazy actually. Wow. So it's definitely over 5 now. And the top of this gap, it's made half the gap here, almost to $10. So these are the two that I'll probably be watching during the day. If they fail and something else pops up, great. It is what it is. But this one actually has a catalyst. So people, I don't know, you know, how confident they are in this one, but they're definitely trading it because it has a catalyst. Let's go ahead and get that on out of there. So 919 was the top there. Has room all the way down here to the $3. The point of control still hasn't moved. Look at how light the volume is up here. Super light volume up here, and the previous volume was under 5, so may go down there for a test or whatnot, but It is what it is. Up 390%. People are looking hungry. Let's look at GLTO. Where'd you end up going? Went back down through the daily gap level, back down through the daily peak level, and it's down here at $22. So made quite a bit of a move and gave back about over $10 worth of profit or per share there to the downside. Now, again, after a day like yesterday, you have to be careful for those shelf registrations on stocks like these that are moving up that haven't really had a whole lot of love, and then all of a sudden they get all this money influx and this kind of what they call imbalance. You got to be careful for those at the open and things like that. They'll pop those shelf registrations, or they'll actually, let's go check shelf registrations for GLTO and ZNB. Since we're talking about it, let's go actually look. GLTO. So GLTO prospectus, don't see any shelf. Wait. SA registration security for employees. Don't see any shelves right here, but maybe they're further back in the past. We'll go see. This is all the way back to 2021, so not sure. Let's go look at what's the other one? ZNB, Zeta Network Group. Registration to security, supplement for primary offering, registration of security. So not seeing any active shelves right now. Let me go and look. I'll go and research that real quick. So let's go flip up in some more stuff and research this. So looking at, are there any active shelf registrations or offerings on ZNB? Are there any active shelf registrations or offerings on ticker ZNB? Let's go see. Okay, so it has not publicly confirmed any active shelf registration or offering on Zeta. Let's see. It could definitely file for one to raise capital, though. Definitely. All right, so now we got $9 hit, and now we're finally seeing some type of dip, a true dip here on the 1 minute. 5 minute definitely kind of looks like it got beat up. So look at the 5 minute, look at this top and tail on the 5. Let's go to the 15. Nice top and tail on the 15, headed back towards $5. GLTO, this is the 15 minute, so hit 36 up here, and now right on those levels that we had marked up from the daily, went down there all the way to $20 and popped up $5. This is insane movement. I would not be surprised at a offering or shelf registration at the open at all. Look at this sell-off. ZB all the way going back towards $5. Yep. Some things getting smoked out here. That's what we don't want. Yeah, there was a nice move, but no structural really integrity kind of basing the move. And this one, GLTO, we're back over to the 1 minute now. So this one on GLTO came back up to that low daily level, and it's starting to use this as some type of resistance. Walking on down the map. Nice, Donnell, getting those scalps out of there. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We're just taking an analysis of the market. You know, we do this every pre-market, and you know, sometimes we find things to trade during pre-market. Sometimes there are wild things out here like GLTO that can definitely give you 30 cents very quickly, which is what I'm looking for. But this, the range of this stock and how it's kind of shifting back and forth, is very hard to predict. It's really not predictable. Plus, it doesn't have a catalyst, so could crash out at any moment. Has a low down here of 2052 after checking back in on this high level, or not high level, but the low gap level. So definitely kind of tested into the gap and then failed. Same thing with ZNB, tested into the, where am I going? ZNB tested into the gap and then coming on down. So it's the same, pretty much the same premise pattern, but this one just has catalyst. So $1 away from being back under 5. And this one's still too steep to do any kind of downtrend on this. $47 million shares traded. And look, the point of control still has not moved on this thing. Still very light volume in this level up here. Yeah. Let's see if this one's moved. It is not. Still down there at $10 on the point of control. You got to risk it for the biscuit, but the problem is, like, do I need to risk it though? Is it something that, is the biscuit something that I want? Am I already gonna make a biscuit today? Yep. So it's like, I'd rather put a cherry on top. I'd rather it hand me the biscuit with a cherry on top. You know. I'm looking for an easy trade. I'm looking for an overwhelmingly easy trade. These right here, this is sweat. This is like, in the one yesterday, that's, you know, you need to be sitting there with your nice little bucket under you, an extra pair of pants, change your socks, because it will take you out. All right, so we're seeing ZMB kind of struggling to hold this 6. Came down here to 566 bottom. And again, throwing a couple of wicks in there. Now the range is starting to get tighter and tighter. Okay. Hopefully it doesn't start to look like a barcode. ZNB under 6 now. Like I said, back under 5, this is the whole prop trader move. Get it and ride it on back down to 5. I would not be surprised at all if they do a shelf registration or an offering. So let's identify a breakdown point. So if it can hold up here, let's see what's this bottom, 23.52. This is a lot clearer than the top side. So, whoops, wrong one. This is a lot clearer than the top side if it can hold up, but it's still a little steep. But I want to see where it could possibly break down, start gauging where it can break down. ZNB back to the 550s. So yeah, looking like going back to that gap level there. And now it's going way too close to 5 for me to be doing anything. I like to see them get away from 5 and hold away from 5. Want them to be allergic to 5. All right. It's a little popping back and forth. Just in this little range here. So it's got to choose a side. Either break or use this as resistance again or break down. I would love for it to just kind of get over this level of the 27. And that'll be a more clear downtrend. 26. 26, just get a little bit above this 27.65, but it's throwing a spike there. Right at that level. Okay, a little bit higher. And so, okay. So I'm probably going to end up using this one as our outlier in this range. 27.65. All right, let's go ahead and mark that up wherever it's going to stop. Look for it to crash back under this 27 flat. Closing the candle there. Okay. And still a little steep. Could you give us a couple more candles up here? Still a little steep. I don't like that. All right, ZNB under 5 now, and that's what I was afraid of on that one. Real quick move up and then right back down. So still just sitting on my hands here. Okay, it's giving us a couple moves. Can it go a little bit higher than its 27.91? Maybe not. The other thing that I did yesterday is like, if it's a main mover like ZNB and GLTO, you know, I want to see those fail before I try anything else. Because if all the volume, this ZNB has 59 million shares traded. It's like, why even look anywhere else until it fails my criteria completely? One is under $5. Now, yeah, it has quite a bit of a range on it, but still, it's too close to being not tradable. And then GLTO came up here, made a little bit of high, so I guess that did work out the way that I was thinking it would. And came up to that range, so I guess I'll use this and see if it continues to trade down through here. But coming back in this range, the low of this is 23.50, which I'm thinking could be the breakdown point. So we shall see. We finally got a little bit of structure, and this structure looks kind of dreadful. So we'll see how it ends up trading. ZNB continues to struggle to hold $5. Oliver says PCSA. Where is that? What is that? PCSA, 44 cents. So this one is way out of range for me. You know, it's 40 cents. There's a couple problems with trading cheaper stocks that I go over sometimes on the stream, and I'll go over it right now. Cheaper stocks. It is way too easy to oversize on a cheaper stock. 2, it is way too hard for it to give you the range to make good money, especially if you're trading on a small account. Trade on a bigger account is still going to be kind of, you know, you can get in and out and all that good stuff. There are a lot of limitations on cheaper stocks, especially when your bank when your bank looks at that stock as too risky, they'll keep you from trading it. Now this one you may be able to trade. I don't know, you can or not, but look at the ranges here. This one went up from 31 cents up to 44 cents. Like how much volume is on this PCSA? Okay, so there's 41 million shares traded on this one, right? There's volume, but there's competition on the board too. You got GLTO up here moving dollars at a time. You could buy one share and make $1, right? On GLTO, just one share. ZNB, same thing. You're getting bigger moves. This will move from, what's the bottom down here? $2 up to $9. So I'm like, the cheaper I trade, the more I tend to oversize. and the worse my losses get, because I get to the point I take a position, I'm like, man, I got this big position, I can still add some, let me just hold it. And that's my downfall. I end up being like, oh man, why did I even get into this cheap stuff, man? All this stuff was moving up here with this range and all this stuff, and I ignored it because there was some trash at the bottom of the barrel. Oh man, all of it is trash. Okay, all of it is trash. But it's like you have to evaluate the level of trash that you're getting into. And that level of trash is yeah, you would need to do the same thing that you would need to do yesterday with that big move on SPRB. Get you an extra pair of pants, get you a bucket up under you, extra pair of socks, because it's one of those things you get in and you get trapped in there because more people and more shorts focus on where they can make money. How do you make money? By killing shorts. How do shorts make money? By killing you. So they want to be in a space where they can get money. Think about a short taking this position at 9.19 on this candle, or even down here at 7, riding this down to 5. That's a $5 move down in comparison to a couple cents, 10 cents. This is where the money is. So you find where the money is, and then you go there. And if the money stays in that spot, you just gotta stay there too. All right, GLTO again popping back up to this level, testing it as resistance once again. But yeah, cheap stocks like that, I just I really don't like stocks under $5. But then penny stocks, it's just a good way to donate money. To be honest, you could find a children's donation facility for real and just donate there. Be a lot more effective. Lot more effective. Pull that Ross Cameron, donate everything to the children's facility. It's for the children. It's for the children. All right, so again, we're getting a little pop up here. And even if you look at Ross, what he trades, he trades above $2. That's his limit. Now me, I'm not good at even trading $2. I like things that give me a little bit bigger pop. But GLTO popping out here, so okay, this is an even more obvious one. Let's go ahead and get ready to mark this down. So this is 28.30 something. Oh yeah, now this is looking more of like a structure. So we got one that was down here at 25.71, and now we got a little bit out here at 28.40 something. I want to see where it stops though. Let's go ahead and get back on 27, my boy. Go ahead and take them down. Needs to get under 28 first though. Okay, there's 28 tap. All right, so I'll go ahead and put that. It may invalidate this, but it's okay. We'll see if it can re-enter this level. ZMB still struggling around that $5. 64 million shares traded. It is now almost, well, GLTO almost has 40 million. ZMB is almost doubling that. We just looking for that crash out. So this one, was this some type of uptrend right here from the bottom? That's kind of steep, but I don't know. That is kind of steep right there. I'm gonna erase that. That doesn't make sense. It's got to make sense. All right, coming down and tapping that 27. ZMB with another pop up here. 531. But it continues to get shoved down, and the point of control still hasn't moved up. Now there is more volume coming in here though, but I don't know if these are shorts or longs coming in at this $5 level, because it might end up moving that point of control up here in a little bit. Okay, GLTO, what you got going? Showed us a little red there. Very poppy and choppy. Man, I wish I was this company so I can do a shelf registration or offering, bro. Oh, I'll dump so many shares on people. I'm like, yeah, buddy, let's get it going. Because I'm just looking at where it came from at $4. You know how much money they will make selling on the market? Whew. That would be so nasty. And I really think we're going to end up seeing that today. Looking at the NQ overall market. So, and then we'll swing back over to Yahoo Finance to see what the new news is out. Looking at the overall market, we saw a high made up at 25,000. A couple of little dips and trips in here. I mean, everybody thought the government shutdown was going to be just the worst thing ever, but it really wasn't. There's been a lot of overestimation of these political movements and things like that, or government movements, and it just hasn't been as polarizing as people would have expected. Let's swing over here to Yahoo. Go to the back to the front page, see what kind of new news is here. All right, so let's see. Trilogy Metals stock skyrockets as U.S. takes stake. All right, so we already seen that. Lithium Americas and analysis sour after 175% rally on Trump's magic touch. We got NYSE owner to invest in $2 billion in Polymarket. I don't really know what Polymarket is. U.S. stock futures hit pause after record-setting rally. Let me go look at crypto too. I didn't pull up my see what Bitcoin and it all that's doing. Data shows AI isn't displacing workers. Of course it's not. It's improving their workflow. That's what it's doing. It's great. It's great. All right, so back over here to TradingView. Let me make sure y'all can see this. So TradingView, we're looking at Bitcoin here. Bitcoin is up to 1,000, or I said 1,000, $124,000. It dipped for a little bit. I added to a couple of my crypto positions, but it continues to rise. And just looking for it to just do its thing to the upside. Keeps on going up. So a lot of use cases for crypto, and I'm just enjoying the ride, to be honest. Add a little bit here and there and keep on going. Let me go and look at what just happened. So GLTO, so the two levels that we had marked, we had this one here and then we had two. I kind of like to get multiple structural levels built, kind of like a house. And then when I see that foundation breaking upwards, it looks a lot better. But on GLTO, it doesn't have a catalyst, so breaking upwards may not be available for it. But coming back into this previous level here, and this is going to be another structural level right here. So we'll see how it does off in here. Oops, extend to the right. Okay. And so again, getting more and more levels above it and a lot more room to fall down. So definitely looking itchy there. ZNB still struggling right above 5. 69 million shares traded on that one. Let's see what we got. Okay, so it's making its way on down. It's really slowing down in volume too. So let's see if any other news popped up here. Works, zone, what is zone? This is a Dogecoin treasury what? Clean Core Solutions. It says provides Dogecoin treasury update. Current holdings include 710 million Doge, with over 20 million in unrealized gains. Okay. So that's zone. I don't know what it's going to do, but it does have a little bit of crypto catalyst. I don't know if it's going to be a trader for today. It's kind of low volume, but it's, you know, they said they're holding, their holdings include 710 million Doge with over 20 million in unrealized gains. So they're making some money over there. Zone. Let me see what zone is. What is this? Zone. Clean Core Solutions. What? Okay, so let's look into who they are, what they are. It is 7:18. I'm about to end up so on Tuesdays and Thursdays I usually I'm working out of the office, so I go to my other office and everything, but I continue to communicate in Discord, especially if the day doesn't get too busy. So we do have a Discord. It is free to join. I drop all of the things that we're looking at the different stocks, looking at cryptos, looking at all types of investments and all of that in the Discord. And if you need any help as far as setting up TOS or creating scripts for TOS or anything in TOS, we can do video calls in there too. Anyway, Clean Core Solutions Inc. Engages in development and production of cleaning products that produce pure aqueous ozone for professional, industrial, and home use. Its products include fill stations, which are wall-mounted units that produce on-demand aqueous ozone and can fill up spray bottles or buckets for general cleaning. Power Caddy, a 12-gallon tank that generates aqueous ozone and includes a high-pressure spray gun. Power Mini Caddy, a 6-gallon tank, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so all of this is like ozone production and all of that. Okay, so that has nothing to do with crypto. But they have crypto in their holdings. So if people were going to come over for crypto exposure, what they said Dogecoin. So exposures to Dogecoin, they could get into zone if they wanted to. That may be something that tries to move later on in the week. Right now it's $2.40, but if I see it moving on up during the week, I'll know why. I'll keep it on watch. Let's look for more catalysts here. So SNGX, Solix, this is another, it says achieves important safety milestone in its confirmation. Whoa. Am I reading the right thing? Achieves important safety milestone in its confirmatory phase 3 clinical trial of Hybrid for the treatment of cutaneous T-cell lymphoma, so skin cancer. Okay, so this $1.54, but it's got a little bit of catalyst. I don't know, as far as it's gonna have to come on up. It's gonna have to get that price up. It's not as impressive as Zone, so I'll definitely keep my eye open for Zone later on in the week. BJDX, what's your catalyst? No catalyst on today. CISS, no catalyst. SPRB, dying, and then ZNB continue to hold right at that 5. GLTO, really not doing much motion at all. Okay, so we got some pretty clear catalyst to keep up with. If I see Zone pop up later on in the week, I'm gonna be like, wait a minute, this may be a crypto move. Let me go look at the daily chart for Zone too. Go look at the daily chart for Zone. Okay, so Zone's daily chart, we'll get this on up. So it looks like it had quite a bit of a gap down. 782 closed at 225. Now it's at 220 or 240. And for the daily chart, it has a gap, and the gap up here is right at 5. So maybe interesting. I'll go ahead and mark it up so I don't have to do it later on. And okay, so this is our gap. edit. So we got a gap level, and this isn't something I'm just gonna trade today, but I'm just in preparation. So gap, low gap level on daily, low gap level, and then the high gap level is all the way up there. So we'll duplicate, drag that on up. Got our high, oh, went a little bit too far. High gap level at 670, right around $7. So at high gap level, and then we're gonna mark up our peaks. So we have a peak all the way up here, 782. Peak level. Daily level. And then we got a peak. Let's see. I guess you could count this as a peak, but that's entering over 535 is entering that gap. So, I mean, you could put that as a peak. That is kind of obvious as a peak. So I duplicate that. And then we got another peak. So this is 469. Duplicate 469. And that's pretty much all the ones that are like super obvious on this chart. And the reason that I want super obvious ones is because different charts show candles differently. So TOS may show it differently from another platform. So I want to get the most obvious on TOS because the chances that those show up on the other platforms is pretty high. Back over here to our what we were watching at first. ZNB continues to just kind of not do anything. So yeah, we pretty much did some pretty good reconnaissance. I need to get ready to get out of here though. Appreciate you guys for tuning in for sure. And I'll be back tomorrow morning in pre-market, but I will be in the Discord today. For sure. All right. And as always, keep your head on the swivel. If you're going to continue trading, definitely be watching out for shelf registrations for these things moving up with no catalyst because companies want to make money. They do want to make money, and they can easily do an offering or a shelf registration. Register for a shelf registration. But usually they register for a shelf registration way before this. So an offering is more likely than a shelf registration. But anyway, that's it for me today. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.